What factors have contributed to Bosnia and Herzegovina's emergence as a key hub for the halal economy in Europe?
Well, I would say there are two main key factors. The first one is that Bosnian Muslims, Bosniaks, are indigenous European nation. So that's number one. Number two would definitely be in Bosnia and Herzegovina when they, over 20 years ago, founded the Agency for Halal Quality Certification, and which has been accredited, globally recognized, and adopted to the European standards when it comes to not just halal certification, but in general food quality control. So we hope to utilize on both of this and also on the enormous potential that our country has when it comes to agriculture, tourism, food production, but also industry, manufacturing, and everything else.
Okay. Which sectors would Bosnia hold the greatest growth potential in the halal ecosystem over the coming years?
Well, we have Islamic finance present through one Islamic bank, which was founded by the Islamic Development Bank Group and Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank and Dubai Islamic Bank. So for that sense, we have a foundation in the financial system. But the largest growth where I see it is definitely halal-friendly tourism. We have been recognized as a go-to destination by both Muslim and non-Muslim travelers from all over the world. And we are really, really seeing exponential numbers when it comes to tourism. Also, people flying in and coming in through other airports, through other means of transportation. And we are seeing a lot in when it comes to development of touristic infrastructure, hotels, resorts, and we have a lot of investment opportunities in that area as well. Also, another halal-related investment potential lies in our agriculture. We have beautiful land, which has not been contaminated, which can grow organic food, which can host halal farms all over the country. And we need to somehow utilize this potential with some government policies and also with our path towards the European Union in order for our farmers and agriculture workers to be competitive with their prices, because it is a really hard-working industry and you need to subsidize it quite a lot in order for all of those people working in that area to be happy and satisfied with their prices, but also to be competitive with the selling prices on either local or regional or European market. So I would say tourism and agriculture, food production would be the biggest potential. Also, something which has been untapped is cosmetics. So it's growing. We are seeing an increase in halal certified cosmetics. So maybe cosmetics and pharma industry could be the third halal related industry that has a potential to grow in our country.
Okay. From your expertise, what are the main challenges facing the development of halal ecosystems in non-Muslim countries in general?
Well, I would have to say that we need to see how to change the growing narrative of Islamophobia, which then somehow touches upon the halal as a concept. I think that's something maybe negative to some people. And I think the key is in communication, presentation, and a lot of effort to really explain what halal does mean. Also, another challenge, in my opinion, is the lack of a unified halal quality certification logo. Every country is trying to protect itself and they are imposing slightly different rules, which make it hard, especially for non-Muslim producers, to understand which kind of logo, which kind of certification in the end do I need. I know that there are some efforts in CIMIC and other bodies to harmonize this, and we need to, in my opinion, to say everyone to agree what is halal, what is the logo that's going to be well accepted. And also with the emerging of the new technologies, especially blockchain and AI, I think we can reach that. If you are to scan a barcode or a logo and to trace the production of a certain product to see where it came from and it hasn't been tampered, in the meantime, then we can be, as a consumer, in the end, we can be assured that that is truly a halal product. So I would say that there needs to be some harmonization in the trade and in the acceptance of the halal certificate from wherever it is.
Do you think that standards or regulations can hinder the principle of halal economy in these countries?
Well, I think let's say, if you're talking about Europe or the Western world or in general the US, you have a lot of standards that have been recognized globally. So when you see TÜV or when you see ISO and when you see these kind of logos and brands, you trust them and you know what they are. So I think we need to somehow adapt the principle of issuing the halal certificates in the same manner, so that when a person sees a halal logo, which should be a global one, that they know what is behind it. And I do believe that people need to trust that logo. I think we need that stamp, because otherwise anyone can say my products are halal, and how can we as a consumer be sure that it actually is?
How do you see the future of the halal economy in Europe amid the growing Muslim consumer base and evolving consumption patterns?
Well, that's an interesting emerging market in Europe. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, there are around 50% Muslims, but we are a secular country. Halal is not imposed, it's not obligatory by law, so we understand the challenges that are present all over Europe.
So we need to have some skills in communication and marketing, not just only to introduce it as a business.
Absolutely.
So we have to be empowered with other skills and maybe a team who are working on that. So just not introducing business of halal.
You know, whenever we organize halal-related events, the religious scholars always emphasize one thing. It's good that halal is becoming a growing business. But first of all, it's something that is permissible, and we need to take care of that principle of not, making it dirty by the business interests, if you understand what I mean. So in that sense, I think that the halal certification as a process has really reached high quality globally. Nobody is tampering too much with what is halal or not, and people do recognize. We need to see how to build on the business ecosystem there. And I think events such as the London Halal Forum and the Mecca Halal Forum and all of these halal related events really help people, first of all, connect through business, but in an ethical manner, and through selling and buying products and working together in a just way that is much needed for any community, any country, any business to be sustainable and to grow further. When you talk about halal, it can be permissible, but is it ethical? Is it harming the environment? It shouldn't, in my opinion, and I think in opinion of other scholars and people who are learning more about halal. So we have to really think where halal is going in the future, especially with the new generations, which are much more eco-friendly, eco-aware. They're thinking about the environment much more than my generation or the generation of my parents. They are more concerned with the animal welfare. They're more concerned with their own welfare as well. So the halal industry is going to change a bit in the future, and we should be thinking about it right now.
Okay, what opportunities exist to enhance cooperation between countries with advanced halal practices and those that are just beginning to develop this sector?
Well, if we are talking about halal, we are most likely talking about the trade between the countries. So some countries produce certain products which are halal certified, which other countries don't have. They want to import it, and vice versa. In that sense, free trade agreements and the ease of any kind of bureaucracy and administration is definitely what you would talk to any business owner, and they would tell you that they need this to be much more relaxing. The supply chains need to be quick. The logistics need to be strong in order for the product to reach the buyer.
If you would give an advice for entrepreneurs or young people who would like to start up their projects on halal and have their own business on halal, what do you advise? How to be in the market?
Well, today you have a paradox that with this new technologies, internet and interconnectivity, the world is open for everyone. So you can really have a big global success quite quickly by just putting up your products, which need to be first of all, they need to solve some kind of demand or a problem for the customer. That's like the basics of any production or manufacturing. You need to price it well, you need to market it and brand it, and you need to promote it. We mentioned this earlier, the media, the power of public relations, communications, advertising, marketing in general is really important. On the same side, at the same time, you have this opportunity to promote your product globally, but also you are competing with everyone globally. Whatever I've heard over the last 20, 25 years, as I'm in my, let's say, adult career after university, all of the entrepreneurs mentioned one thing, and everyone said this: courage. There is no benefit, no profit without risk. There is no blueprint that someone can tell you this is what you as an entrepreneur should do in order to succeed. It all depends on the product, of the industry, of the timing. Sometimes you can have a great product, but just not at the right time. But you need to be courageous. Entrepreneurs really need to be prepared to fail. And I'm not a training coach.
So
exactly.
yes.
And you have to be aware that failure is a part of the success process. You could and should try and find some mentors. There are really a lot of people now that are ready to help and support young entrepreneurs to put a reaching hand, and not just in the investment kind of sense that people are seeing a good opportunity to invest, to earn money from young entrepreneurs and their ideas, but rather people that have succeeded, have earned a lot enough money and want to help the emerging generation stand on their feet. Because small and medium enterprises are the backbone of any economy all over the world. So every country, every economy should have some kind of programs to support, to educate, to actually motivate people to work. If we are talking, we cannot generalize the Islamic world or the Muslim world, but people tend to want to work for government agencies and public companies, and that's not the future. That was the past. It was typical. It was typical in the post-socialist countries as well, in Eastern Europe, in the ex-Soviet Union, in former Yugoslavia, from which Bosnia and Herzegovina emerged as an independent country. There needs to be a generational shift for people to start thinking entrepreneurially. And then they need to connect, you need to be honest, you need to be open, and I think success will come. Of course, you have to, if we're talking about halal and the religious aspect, you have to put your faith in God. Everyone has its risk, everyone has its nafaka, so you just need to work hard.
Finally, how do you position the first edition of London Halal Forum in London, as it was convened for twice in Mecca, but today we are in Europe, and how it can be connect halal industries and corporates from different countries in heart of London?
I have to say, Sheikh Yousef Khalawi's strategic vision is something that really inspires me. And this is not just I'm saying something just to say thank you to him for inviting us and the Bosnian delegations for the past few events. When you listen to him and when you experience 1 and 2 and 3 events and a few years have passed by, you really see that there is a global vision behind what he's doing. And under his leadership, I believe the Islamic Chamber of Commerce and Development has really evolved into a modern multilateral organization. So to have first the 2 editions of the Mecca Halal Forum in Mecca in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, like the most natural place to talk about halal, where Islam was born and the Quranic message was revealed to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To have it in London as a global event at the center of global economy, which the city of London is in the United Kingdom, was a really bold move, but also a very logical place to start. And I see this event really growing and evolving into one of the most important halal-related events globally. And as I understand, the vision is also to have several other events, one for Europe, one for Africa, and other continents. So to interconnect all of these events and to strengthen the network and to connect the people which want to be not just in halal certified businesses, but in ethical trade, in helping and supporting each other, being there for one another, I think that's the biggest value. And I'm really happy and honored to have been here. We are happy to have had Bosnia and Herzegovina as a country in focus for the first edition in London Halal Forum.